Yeah, the laws are made by men, and the laws are gonna be changed by men,
But
and
is
the
the
laws
law
are
govern
changed by men.
society?
Like
Is
as
the law govern
no, no, you
society?
don't speak
Is
over
the law
me.
that gave
Don't
you
speak
ID
over
that
me.
make
Don't speak over me, please. I'm gonna drop if you do that. Don't speak over me. I'm saying Nigeria, which is a failed state, maybe you shouldn't be teaching us about law, because
is
look
the
at
law give
Nigeria. The
you
laws are
ID
not
that make you
working.
a citizen? Without law, you can't be
Thomas,
a
can
citizen.
behave,
All
Thomas.
right, all right, all right. People from countries where laws don't exist, your president is considered to be the third most corrupt president on earth. I don't think you're qualified to be teaching us about laws. Your country is not functioning. So we're in a position where, guys, we cannot afford to be people trying to justify these things, man. Our country cannot afford to deal with global criminals. There's no justification for that. We can't be told that, you can, you know what these people are doing? They want us to accept the global criminality so that it falls on our responsibility. When we profile them, it hits them because now it pushes them to take responsibility, because profiling them means now they don't have access to other countries until they deal with their criminals. Profiling Nigerians is a good thing, because when we profile them, we force them and their government to make sure that their criminals don't leave Nigeria. If we continue to fall for this propaganda that no, we have to be the bigger people and not profile people, how does that help? Not profiling them and not generalizing them, it has helped us with what? In fact, generalizing them seems to be productive. It seems to be bringing them an outrage. It seems that it's working because it's making them accountable. It's making them be aware that they pay the highest price by not controlling their own criminals. So we should continue to profile them. We should continue to generalize them until they themselves make sure that they don't import criminality to other countries. It's that simple. Go ahead, Tabo.
Morning, good morning. Yes, I can see the topic what's it about, because it's not clear, you see. And I said to them, Pan-Africanism was supposed to be about Africans wherever they go globally. It came into existence because we were all oppressed by the same people globally. And it was also about us running to other people's home to train like militants to come back to fight for our homes. Our ANC comrades, they were true Pan-Africanists during the apartheid. They went to Zambia and Angola to train as militants to get back their homes. But modern day Pan-Africanists, they are misleading, They are not fighting they are running to our country, feeling comfortable in our country, and they use the term we are all African or Africans unite or Pan-Africanism just so that they can avoid the issues in their own country, the poverty, the bad leadership, the oppression in their own country. They are not willing to go back. They are not willing to say, you know what, can we please have a piece of land so that we can organize a training camp to go back to our home and fight against our leaders who are the reason why we came here. They are not doing that. I remember when I explained to them, the people just said, hold on, and they just disconnected me and they started talking their own problem. They say that's the problem with South Africans. They think they are better than everyone, and it's not like that. Even though when we tell them the simple truth, if we South Africans love our own Mzungus, then why are average Nigerians crossing the Mediterranean Sea into Europe to go to their white men? And why are some of them working in our big corporations if we love our own Mzungus? People are missing the point of what Pan-Africanism should be. It starts with yourself. It starts with self-acknowledgement, self-loving, because the reality is that many other African countries, they don't acknowledge us. Some of them are even jealous that you have a South African ID, like the identity, the citizenship, women and our country affairs, and then they call themselves Pan-Africanists. You see, so they are missing the point of Pan-Africanism. I can see even members of Operation Dudula, a lot of them, they don't want anything to do with Pan-Africanism. They hate it to the core, not realizing that no, the problem is not the ideologies of Pan-Africanism, it's the fact that people are using it to become scapegoats, you see. So, because now as an African myself, as a South African,
the problem with the movement is when there is no solidified leaders to correct the movement to stay stable. I mean, I don't blame anyone now who's pushing themselves away from Pan-African. The concept has been hijacked and used for certain things, and we just don't have time to say. to save unnecessary movements. We want solid things now. We don't want to be told about movements that are bearing nothing anymore. It's time for
Yes, I
results
see.
now.
I see
Yeah,
what you're
it's time
saying,
for Africa
but
to see
as I
results.
said to you, as I was saying, Pan-Africanism is more than the ideologies. It starts with yourself. It starts with acknowledgement. Look at average black communities, even other African countries. There's lack of acknowledgement amongst black people. We live in societies whereby if a child is smart, they'll unalive the child, put the child in a coffin, bury the child, and dance on top of the child's grave. It should be about acknowledgement, and that is why I believe that every African leader like Ibrahim Traore, who serves their own people and invests in them so much, they are true Pan-Africanists. That's the reality. So a lot of these African foreigners, they are not living up to the ideologies. They are just, I don't know, they are fake. They are operating just like our sellout leaders. They'll convince us that no, South Africans, you love your Mzungus just so that they can come and get the jobs from this very same Mzungus. They are even settling for cheap labor, and then when they settle for cheap labor, they convince us that we are lazy, we don't want to work. They must just leave. They must just leave and go develop their own country. They're really Pan-Africanists. You see? Okay, thank you.
Can be able to justify the use of the word that he used. There's really nothing he can do to justify it. That's what I can say to him. Even if he tries, he can't justify. Even if you try,
I tried to explain. I didn't justify. I tried to explain why I used the word.
When I
let us deal with this issue like.
That is what I'm telling you. There's nothing you can say that can help you to justify or
All right,
explain.
okay. Thank you,
There's no
brother.
amount of
I will drop.
explanation that
If
can
you
help.
don't want to explain to look, I'm an anti-racist. I am an African throughout my blood, and I'm totally opposed. I'm totally opposed to any form of racism and racial.
My brother, what I'm saying to you,
To speak.
you can,
Wait,
all right, sure.
Merin, allow Kota to speak because you like to dominate. You just like to speak all over people. Allow him to speak, then you can speak after him. Go ahead, Kota.
Very quiet
Alright.
and cooperative, but you people don't give me a.
All right, fine. Now, my brother here, even if he can try to explain the whole day, there's nothing he can say that can help him justify or that can make us understand why he used that word. There's nothing he can say exactly. So now
I can say you behave like a pig. Pig.
To the brothers that are busy telling
I
us
tell you,
that are busy telling us about the constitution, that we can't speak up against the constitution. No, like Maposo said, the laws of South Africa were drafted by South Africans, so which means South Africans are older than these laws. These laws exist because of South Africans. So now South Africans cannot be slaves to these laws. You can't be a slave to a law that you drafted. You can't. So we have a right to criticize our laws, and we have a right to amend them. So this thing, this notion that we can't speak against our laws, is just I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Yeah. So I want to say, my brother, about Pan-Africanism, he's right. It's just that it has been hijacked by selfish individuals, selfish capitalists who